Welcome to another edition of the Falcon Flyby. I'm Franky.
And I'm Hamza. In today's show, we'll learn how to get Dirhams for dreams,
Go backstage with our 10-minute thespians,
uncover our favorite tie-dye teacher,
plus Arya on sports and news you can use.
The Falcon Flyby starts now.
Our PTSA is an amazing organization that supports our school in so many ways. This month, they launched an annual grant program where students can get real dirhams to fund their passion projects.
Over 750,000 dirhams has been awarded since this important program began. Past dreams have included a windmill farm, recycling containers, video equipment, thank you very much, and so much more. Producer Rafa tells us how to cash in.
Tell us about the grant program.
The grants program provides funding to students, parents, and faculty for projects that enhance the learning at ASD. These projects are in line with ASD's mission to enhance learning and to build community and provide sustainability projects for the school.
What are some projects that have been funded in the past?
Some of the grants that the PTSA program have funded are the Melodors concert last year. That was a project that was funded with advancement and also cast, and the Melodors are a Vanderbilt a cappella group, and we were able to have them come to ASD and perform for all of our students and parents. They did a concert during the day, and then they also did a concert at night, and our whole community was invited. Yes. A second initiative that the grants program funded was the hybrid drinking fountains that you might see around campus.
And how do you apply for the program?
To apply for a grant, you would go to the ASD Go page under the parent section, under PTSA. There's a grant section there, and there are instructions there for you to apply for a grant. But it's really important that the grant applications are done by January 30th, because that's the grant application deadline. We're so excited to see the grant applications come in, and we wish you best of luck, and we're really excited to see your bright ideas come to light.
Next month, our drama department is bringing on the drama. Over 60 student thespians auditioned for what is known as the 10-minute plays.
There are 10 plays in all, 5 performed on the first night and 5 on the next. On Monday, February 10th, all 10 plays will be performed simultaneously in different locations.
10 on the 10th?
Yep.
All at the same time?
Yep, simultaneously.
Producer Sara caught up with a few leads.
My name is Noor Hamid. I'm a junior, and I'm doing 10-minute plays this year.
I'm Archie Sargent. I'm a senior, obviously. Basically, 10-minute plays on 2 nights, February 12th and 13th. You get to come in, enjoy 10-minute plays. Most of them are comedies, I believe, so you'll probably be laughing the entire time, hopefully.
I play one of the fairies in the play Sweet Dreams.
I'm in the play 2 Eggs, and basically I'm the character Depressed Skit, so I have to act depressed during the entire show, basically.
I look forward to meeting new people and just kind of learning more things about acting, and I really just like the experience, yeah.
The atmosphere, because once you get, you don't see the other plays during the rehearsals because you do your own rehearsals with your own team. But then once the nights come, you get to see everyone else come together, especially backstage, and then being able to see the plays come, all the other plays that you weren't seeing, you get to experience it for the first time yourself as well. So that entire atmosphere always feels super nice.
We have the opportunity to watch 10 amazing different plays, and you have so much support from all of the other thespians that are in the other plays, watching your play, and it's really it's a great time of year for people just to kind of have fun acting and just spending time with one another.
Come see the 10-minute plays. It will be very great to get a full house for one of the nights, one of these times, because they're really worth it. You can ask any of the actors, they'll say it, not just because self-promotion, but because it's genuinely going to be a great time.
I just want to say, I hope that you guys come watch the 10-minute plays, because some of them are funny, some of them are kind of more dramatic, so come watch 10-minute plays.
To some kids, learning chemistry is like learning a foreign language.
But in Mr. Fortin's class, chemistry is elemental. See what I did there?
In this week's teacher feature, producer Sara shows us why this beloved teacher is so beloved. And what's with the tie-dye lab coat?
I have no idea, Franky.
Why do you like teaching chemistry so much?
I don't know how other teachers do it sometimes. I always get to blow things up or make color changes or something manipulative every day. There's always something you can do in chemistry, and it just makes it way more fun. I always like to light things on fire or do whatever to make people go, aha, or something they've never seen before.
How would you describe your teaching style?
I've always been a believer my whole career of cooperatively working together through problems, or I would model something and then I'd walk around and check to see everybody's doing it okay, and then they would work on problems together and then share out what they're doing. So it's always been, my whole career, it's always been very hands-on, very real-world problems, the nice thing about chemistry is you're always working with something that's really relevant to you, because we're all made of chemicals, so everything's relevant to us.
Can you tell us the story behind your lab coat?
Well, when I first started teaching, I would teach chemistry, and I'm very active in the chemistry lab. I'd always be lots of demos, so I'd always be rubbing my hands, and I'd touch acid or rub my hand in my pants, and the clothing would get destroyed. So by the end of the year, I would go through several pairs of pants, and I didn't have much money back then, so I started wearing a lab coat to always teach in. So I'd always teach in lab coats. So when I did things, I'd wipe it on my lab coat, which was great, but it was a white lab coat. And by the end of the year, the lab coat would just be destroyed. It would have holes in it, would be big brown spots. It looked absolutely horrible. So then I stuck on the idea of wearing the tie-dye. So every year I would buy, these are bought. So every year I would buy a tie-dye lab coat, and so I could start off the year with a nice clean one. And by the end of the year, there'd be holes in it, it'd be falling apart, and we'd be trying to sew it and patch it up. And so I'd start every year.
Tell us one of your favorite teaching stories.
I had this rule in chemistry: you can't share calculators, right? You can't share calculators. And beginning of the year, kids don't know me. They all think I'm really kind of tough as nails. They don't really kind of know I'm a softie yet. So I can kind of get away with things then. So it was the beginning of the school year, and it was the first test the students had. And I had one student come in, and I said, Andrew, take my calculator, and about 5 minutes into the test, I want you to pass it to the person next to you, right? So he does this. So we go into the class, and it's quiet as can be because they're all taking their test. And he kind of looks up at me and nods, and he passes the calculator to the person next to him. I said, Andrew, I said there's no sharing calculators. I told you I'm going to take the calculators one day. So I walk over and I grab the calculator, and I open my desk drawer and I have a hammer, right? And I take out the hammer and I hold it by the calculator and I go like this, and it goes, you guys don't think I'm going to do this, do you? And I went, bam, and I smashed it into 1,000 pieces. And all the students just look at me and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe you actually did that. And then I took the pieces that were laying out, and I had a bucket of some acid, and I just dropped the whole thing into the bucket of acid. Then I just went back to grading papers.
In sports, the EAC tournaments took place last weekend, so our teams turned their eyes towards MESAC. Let's get the rundown from Arya.
Hey guys, EAC Tournaments wrote the script this past week with ASD taking the headlines. In tennis, the boys took 11 of 12 matches with Adam, Teo, Yusuf pulling down 2 victories each. Dominant performances from Hussein, Ramez, Adam, Zach, and Jad. The ladies also won the EAC tournaments, losing only 1 match. The doubles team of Camille and Tia won both their matches, as well as Madeline and Mariam. Florence crushed it in single play, taking both matches 8-3 and 8-1. On the soccer fields, the JV boys brought home the banner, and the JV girls finished second. In varsity, our boys warmed up with a 3-0 shutout against UAS. Khalid drove in 2 goals, and goalie Murtaza blocked every ball that came his way. In the tournament, the Falcons lost the opener in overtime against DAA, then played a tough match against ACS. Khalid, Karam, and Amar each scored a goal, with Amar getting 2 assists and Ramzi getting 1. On the ladies' side, the Falcons opened with a loss, then came back to beat UAS 2-0, with Natasha Tori scoring a sweet goal to seal the deal. The Falcons finished 3rd in the tournament. In basketball, our varsity boys have 4-1 record and took 3rd place in EAC. Brock got a chance to interview their power forward and senior and captain, Mustafa. Check it out.
Hello, I'm Brock of the Falcon Flyby, and today we're here with senior captain for the basketball team, Mustafa.
Hello.
So I'm going to ask him a few questions. So when did you start playing basketball?
I started playing in 6th grade. My brother introduced it to me, so I didn't really play seriously until like 9th grade though. That's when I started playing like properly.
All right. So how's your season going so far?
So far it's going pretty well. We had a tournament after like 2 days of practice, and we lost to like a few teams we shouldn't have, but it was like a friendly kind of tournament. And then now we started EAC, and we're like the proper league matches, and we're doing a lot better. Like we beat DAA, and we were like the underdog for that match. It was the one in front of the Winter Classic. It was a pretty intense game.
All right. What interests you most about basketball?
I like how it's like very high intensity, like a high-paced sport where you have to use a lot of your energy, and like it's intense. But that's basically it, yeah.
All right. Was there any challenges that you had to overcome while playing basketball?
Well, yeah, obviously, like it's a lot of there's a lot of practice that goes into it. You have to it's surprisingly a lot more thinking than you would think. Like you have to think a lot about what you have to do when you have to do it, and then like coordinating with each other. It's tough to like get that chemistry in, and so it just comes in with like more practice.
All right. You heard it here first. Thank you for taking your time with us, Mustafa.
No problem.
I'd also like to give a congratulations to our JV boys basketball team for winning their EAC tournaments, and the JV Lady Falcons coming third. Good job, guys. And congratulations to our varsity basketball girls team who ended up winning their EAC tournaments as well. They dominated the court, doubling the score against DAA and winning decisively against ACS. Strong court play from Mariam and Grace, shooting from Alina, defense from Dayla and Sara, and clutch free throws from Zainab. In wrestling, the field house was filled with tension as our wrestlers took the mat. Here are some highlights.
On deck for mat 1 of ASD, Esme Lamont. One shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah, I was building on the lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on applying the scheme. The true style trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one shot for the kill. The breeze cut, freeze up, straight dropping the chills. I'm talking taking over pieces and shares. A ball big sky high. Check the movement is here. Yeah, it's one future is yours. Go.
Cross country, both boys and girls were crowned champions, keeping the banner in the Falcons' nest. And even in long distances, Iker seems to run very, very fast. So next up is MISAC. All of our teams will be competing in different cities except tennis, who will host their MISAC championships here on the rooftop. February 5th, come out and support the Falcons. That's it in sports. We'll see you next in March when we go over Season 3.
Thanks, Arya. In other news, next Monday is Career Day, and juniors, important college dates are sneaking up. Make sure you stay connected with the counseling department for all the details and check out the new page to get info.
Then, for February, there's a lot to pack in for such a short month. For example, there's the
Pops concert.
Yes, and as we transition from first to second semester, Falcon Flyby will take a break to retool. We'll be back in March with more shows.
Until then, we close with a special photo feed against the hip sounds of our jazz band led by Mr. Mott.
Make it a great day, Falcons.
See you in March. Bye now. Oh shoot. yeah.
Arya, catch.
Let me read it. For all the details. For all the details.
The gin club takes off for the question mark, question mark, question mark. Let's not do that.
Or is like is Pop's concert like a concert made up of like fathers? Like, hey Pops.
You know, this paper came from this plant. They crushed up the plant and they killed its family and then grinded it to make this paper. Thanks, Arya. Australia's burning. In other news,